This is a story of what actually happened during a disability fight. It's not about the rules, it's about the human cost. I'm going to be very intentional here. This is not legal advice. This is not creating a villain. And this doesn't happen to everybody. I'm just going to tell you what happened to me about the 7 years in a system that wore me down, even when I followed all of the rules. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia in 2018. Like many people, I did resist it. I didn't seek disability right away. I tried to fight it. I tried to push through it. But then I was told by doctors and an attorney that I had a case for much needed help, because every time I worked a job, my entire paycheck would go to medical care. I hired legal help. I followed instructions. I was told not to work. I truly believed if I just did what I was told, the system would work. That belief turned out to be very expensive. And I want to also be very clear. I didn't game the system. I didn't try to jump through loopholes. I stayed compliant. Every advice they gave me, I took it. I trusted the professionals. I followed the instructions. I stayed small. And there's something uniquely painful about being punished for being compliant. I don't think people understand how much of this is waiting for voicemails to be returned, getting information that makes no sense, never planning, committing, moving forward on your life. You're waiting for a decision you have no control over. And when you're sick, actually hurts. What followed wasn't a big catastrophe. It was something much quieter. There were long stretches of silence. There were hearings I wasn't prepared for. There was miscommunication. There was my paperwork being put from different attorney to another attorney. There were also decisions I absolutely did not understand. And the hardest part is that I never knew if my file was active, closed, appealed, or lost. And literally lost. Not just metaphorically. Like really, they lost my case. At some point, your case stops feeling real. You don't know whether to plan, to save, to work a job, to not work a job, how many hours. You don't know if one wrong move will undo years. That kind of uncertainty changes a person. I want to sit with that word, lost. You know, when you're denied and you've been through all the medical paperwork, you've jumped through all the hoops, you've waited for years, and you're denied, and there's no apology, there's no accountability. You just start over. And I want to say something important here. It doesn't just cost you money. It costs you relationships, stability, and support. I lost friendships because I honestly believed help was coming. I lost time and energy, and the waiting was exhausting. I jumped over hoops. I went to every medical doctor. I have a file that is about this thick. I did everything they told me to do. The waiting is exhausting, especially when you're sick. At one point, I was told more than once that my case was closed. Based on that information, I made a decision because of fear. I wanted to be protected. I'm getting older. And that decision came back to haunt me. That decision later became the reason I was penalized. So I had fear of keeping a roof over my head. And a decision I made that did cost me my SSI was simply protecting myself, to have a roof over my head. I was unaware I wasn't giving any funding. I wasn't in charge of that roof over my head, but it penalized me for years. Just seeking security. And at that time, believe it or not, I was told that my case was closed and it was actually lost. That time that I made a conscious decision to secure my future. And now I'm penalized. And that's when the fight stopped being abstract. It started to be inhumane. One of the hardest part isn't about the money. It's the humiliation. You're not treated like a person anymore. You're just treated like a problem. It's really baffling and sad. Explaining your life over and over and over again and being questioned, your character being questioned, whether you're sick or not. After the 7 years, that penalty crushed me. Not because I'm fragile, because it's deeply destabilizing to be told you're doing everything wrong when I did my best for 7 years to do everything right. The system doesn't scream at you. It tears you down quietly. People ask me why I didn't walk away, and the truth is, I thought about that a lot, and there were times where I thought my case was closed and to get on with my life. And I took a job, and I got very sick. And then I was told, oh, my case is still open. And then I was told, oh, I was approved. Wow. And then to be penalized. It about broke me. I appealed it again. I'm now even looking into getting a malpractice attorney, just to see if I have anything. It looks that I do, but it's another uphill battle. You know, walking away accepts a story that isn't true. I can't stop yet, but I'm going to take it with dignity and trust and not let it rule over me anymore. When you have something so completely out of your control, there's two choices. You can let it hollow you out, or you can move forward with dignity. That truth is in your bones, that you're not the failure. The system can be flawed, processes can be cruel, but you can still stay intact. I'm sharing this because I know I'm not alone. And I've had it written down so that I don't re-traumatize myself by sharing this. If you're in the middle of this process, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just here saying that you're not imagining how hard it is and how seemingly cruel, unjust, and inhumane it is. And your pain is real, even if the system never recognizes it. If this resonates with you, there's no need to commit or say anything. Just knowing that you're here and I'm here and the fight is real. And I do hope that someday it gets better. I do still have faith in humanity. And telling the truth calmly, clearly, without sugarcoating it, is sometimes the only power we're left with. Thank you for listening.